When people talk about 80s country, the spotlight usually lands on superstars like Alabama, George Strait, and Reba McEntire. Voices that defined the decade. But beyond the megastars, the 80s were packed with country bands who lit up the honky-tonks, climbed the charts for a moment, then faded quietly into the background.
Everybody's trying to cheer me up.
So let's dig deeper. Here are 12 underrated 80s country bands you probably forgot existed.
Maybe this is the day I remember. Will this be the...
Number 12, Bailey and the Boys. We begin with Bailey and the Boys, a harmony-driven trio that sweetened up the Nashville sound in the late 80s. Signed to RCA Records, their polished blend of country and soft rock brought them a run of top 20 hits like Oh Heart and Wilder Days. The group was led by Kathy Bailey, whose clear, bright vocals carried a kind of California breeze into the Tennessee charts. Behind the music, they faced the challenge of carving out space at a time when solo stars were dominating playlists. Fans remember hearing their songs pouring from FM radios on long summer drives, windows down, harmonies floating like warm air over cornfields. Though their commercial peak was short-lived, Bailey and the Boys helped pave the way for harmony-driven groups that followed, keeping a softer side of country alive during an era of big hats and even bigger personalities. From that breezy sound, let's step into something more grounded and gritty. Number 11, Highway 101.
Setting me up, Highway 101.
Highway 101 burst onto the scene in 1987 with a neo-traditional punch.
You feel better with your good time friends around you.
Fronted by Paulette Carlson's unmistakable voice, the group signed with Warner Brothers and quickly scored hits like Somewhere Tonight and Cry, Cry, Cry. What set them apart was the fusion of rocking guitars with tear-in-your-beer lyrics. Yet, behind the spotlight, Highway 101 often got overshadowed by the massive rise of solo stars like Randy Travis. Still, you could hear their songs blaring from jukeboxes in roadside diners and echoing through two-steppers in Texas dance halls. Their music had grit, but it also had polish, a rare mix in the late 80s. Though their chart-topping days were brief, Highway 101 left a legacy of bold, female-fronted country groups that carried into the 90s. From honky-tonk stompers, we drift into something with a touch of Southern soul. Number 10, Shenandoah.
It's one hit after another. Ladies and gentlemen, Shenandoah.
We spotlight Shenandoah, formed in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, in 1984 but breaking through nationally in the late 80s. With Marty Raybon's soulful voice leading the charge, songs like The Church on Cumberland Road and 24 Roses hit the charts in 1989, cementing their place in country history. But their journey wasn't without bumps. Legal battles over their band name nearly derailed their early success, costing them momentum at a critical moment. Fans recall Shenandoah's music as the kind that played on back porches during humid summer nights. Raybon's heartfelt delivery cutting right through the still air. While the 90s would bring them more recognition, Shenandoah's late 80s foundation gave country music a richer, more emotional soundscape, proving bands could compete with the biggest solo acts of the time. From soul-stirring vocals, let's head into some California country rock vibes. Number 9, Southern Pacific.
Got plenty
Southern Pacific, a West Coast country rock outfit formed in 1985 by veterans of the Doobie Brothers and Creedence Clearwater Revival. With their Warner Brothers deal, they crafted hits like New Shade of Blue and Honey I Dare You. Their challenge? Purists didn't always welcome their rock pedigrees in the country world, creating a push and pull of identity. But imagine sliding a quarter into a jukebox in a neon-lit California bar, their sound filling the room. A perfect blend of Bakersfield twang and rock edge. While they never became household names, Southern Pacific bridged two worlds, influencing the wave of crossover country rock acts that would storm the charts in the 90s. From West Coast twang, we move back east, where the desert sun gave rise to a harmony-rich powerhouse. Number 8, the Desert Rose Band. The Desert Rose Band, founded by former Byrds member Chris Hillman, took Bakersfield tradition and mixed it with modern country rock. Their 1987 debut album produced hits like Ashes of Love and He's Back and I'm Blue, climbing the Billboard country charts. But despite critical praise and ACM awards, they often found themselves in the shadow of mainstream Nashville stars.
A little bit of trouble and I never done love again. Hello, trouble.
Listeners recall their sound as the perfect soundtrack for desert highways. A sunburnt kind of country, made for windows down and endless miles of open road.
Maybe this is a day I remember. Will this be the one?
Though their chart life was short, their influence ran deep, helping keep West Coast country rock alive in an era dominated by Nashville studios. From California harmonies, let's pivot to a duo that brought an almost alt-country edge before the term even existed. Number 7, Foster and Lloyd.
A young team here that go by the name of Foster and Lloyd. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Lloyd and Redney Foster.
Foster and Lloyd, a duo-turned-band that launched in 1986 with RCA.
What do you want from me this time?
With Rodney Foster and Bill Lloyd, their self-titled debut album featured Crazy Over You, the first debut single by a duo to hit number 1 on the Billboard country chart.
This fella's wanting let me get next.
Yet their style, jangly guitars, rootsy harmonies, leaned a little too far ahead of its time. Nashville radio didn't always know what to do with them. Picture college kids in the late 80s spinning Foster and Lloyd records at house parties. The sound felt familiar, yet fresh, a hint of the Americana movement that would bloom years later. Though short-lived, their blueprint inspired generations of alt-country and Americana acts to come. From experimental edge, we return to pure harmony, sung by sisters who lit up the 80s airwaves. Number 6, the Forrester Sisters.
Would you please welcome the Forrester Sisters?
The Forrester Sisters, a 4-part harmony group from Georgia who hit the charts hard in the mid-80s.
Oh, but mama's never seen those eyes.
With songs like I Fell in Love Again Last Night and Just in Case, they notched multiple number 1s on Warner Brothers Nashville. But being a family harmony group in an era of male-dominated acts meant they often didn't get the spotlight they deserved.
First thing that I would do.
Their sound, bright, wholesome, yet heartfelt, often played at family gatherings and summer cookouts where their harmonies blended as naturally as sweet tea and southern sunshine. Though they never became enduring stars, the Forrester Sisters captured an innocence and sincerity that remains a sweet snapshot of 1980s country.
Mama never looked into those eyes.
If these classics are bringing back memories, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe. We post new country countdowns every week, keeping the golden years of music alive for fans like you. Number 5, Exile.
All the way from Kentucky, USA. They've got a smash hit at number 33. First time in this country as well for Exile.
We have Exile, a Kentucky-based band best known for their 1978 pop hit, Kiss You All Over. But by the early 80s, they reinvented themselves as a country group, scoring a string of top 10 country hits like Woke Up in Love and She's a Miracle. Their challenge was credibility. Could a pop rock act win over country purists? Slowly but surely they did, thanks to tight musicianship and heartfelt delivery. Fans remember their songs dominating small-town radio, where Exile's reinvention surprised and delighted longtime listeners.
Baby, no one does it quite like you.
While they never fully escaped their pop past, Exile proved reinvention was possible, influencing countless crossover acts that followed. From reinvention, we head into a stripped-down, almost folk-inspired duo. Number 4, the O'Kanes.
Why should I?
The O'Kanes, a duo of Jamie O'Hara and Kieran Kane who brought a minimalist, almost spiritual touch to late 80s country.
I don't understand. No.
Hits like Can't Stop My Heart from Loving You climbed high on the charts, yet their sound stood apart. Less Nashville gloss, more raw roots. But their stripped-back approach meant they never fully clicked with mainstream country audiences.
Everybody's trying to cheer me up.
Imagine listening to the O'Kanes on a quiet night drive, headlights cutting through darkness, their harmonies floating like whispers in the wind. Though their career was brief, their folk country fusion left a haunting imprint that echoed into the Americana movement.
That ain't the way I truly feel.
From haunting whispers, we swing into something far more radio-ready. Number 3, McBride and the Ride.
Was Dad's arm out the window of that blue Mercury?
McBride and the Ride emerged in the late 80s with harmony-driven songs that felt tailor-made for the coming 90s. Led by Terry McBride, they built a reputation with tracks like Can I Count on You? Their challenge? Timing. Launching right at the decade's close meant their biggest hits didn't land until the 90s boom.
Times get hard.
Leaving them stuck between eras. Listeners recall hearing them at high school dances and Saturday night bar gigs, young, fresh, and full of promise. While their true success came later, McBride and the Ride's 80s beginnings helped bridge the gap between traditional and contemporary country.
Go on and leave her alone.
From emerging talent, let's flash forward to a harmony-rich group that came too early for their own good. Number 2, Ricochet.
Can't concentrate on the preacher.
Ricochet, technically a 90s breakout, but formed in the late 80s.
Singing up there in the choir loft. She's got it down.
Their polished harmonies and high-energy performances were rehearsed long before mainstream success hit. They struggled through the club circuit, often dismissed as too slick for country bars, but too country for rock venues.
She's gone. Long gone. Her heart is beating stronger.
Fans who caught their shows in the 80s remember them as the band that stole the night. Tight harmonies bouncing off honky-tonk walls like live fire. Though they wouldn't chart until the 90s, Ricochet's late 80s groundwork shows how underrated groups often sow seeds long before fame arrives. And that brings us to number 1, a band that fused rock and country with daring results. Number 1, the Sky Kings.
Here we are as this band, the Sky Kings.
How you doing, man? I cannot wait.
The Sky Kings, originally known as Four Wheel Drive.
That just about says it all.
Formed in the late 80s with members from Poco and the Doobie Brothers, they created a harmony-rich sound that pulled equally from California rock and Nashville country.
Every night when I come home, I walk.
But record label troubles and identity crises kept them from ever reaching their full potential. Still, imagine stumbling into a smoky bar in 1989 and hearing those soaring harmonies, country storytelling wrapped in rock and roll sheen.
Son, who's 5, just came to see the Sky Kings for the first time. Last week we did a showcase for our label, Warner Brothers.
It felt both familiar and brand new. Though their album struggled to see daylight, the Sky Kings left a cult legacy, remembered by fans as one of the boldest what-ifs of 1980s country. If you've enjoyed this trip back in time, don't forget to like and subscribe for more country classics every week. And there you have it. 12 underrated country bands of the 1980s. Each one brought a unique flavor to the decade, from harmony-rich sister acts to rock country hybrids that dared to cross genres. They may not all have topped the charts, but they left behind songs that still linger in jukeboxes, truck stop tapes, and in the hearts of country fans who remember. Thank you for tuning in and keeping the golden years alive with us. Don't miss our next video, 12 underrated 90s country bands, where the next generation takes the stage. Until then, keep the jukebox playing.